YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with another offseason rebuild video. This one for the Dallas Cowboys, who have quite a bit of free agents. In these videos, I play GM, make some cuts, some major signings, re-sign some players, and do a 7-round NFL mock draft. Doing this for every single NFL team, going in draft order. Full NFL content here, and we actually have a newer channel as well, the Goat House Plus. Link in the description in the comments. Please subscribe to that. Trying to get the subscriber rate to match, so need your help there. And then follow our Twitter and Instagram, daily posts, always talking football, and answering any questions on the Twitter. So those are must follows there. Link in the description and comments. You'll find the Patreon link in the description as well. First thing I like to do, take a look at the roster. See the depth, evaluate the team. Guys in red are free agents, so you see quite a bit of them. A good Cowboys team, better where they ended last year, but a lot of free agents. And, my thinking every offseason was every team, or always is every team must get better. Every team, even the team like the Chiefs, the Niners, those teams even need to get better. And with this many free agents, it's kind of tough to do. The good news is they do have a good amount of cap space, but still, it's not at all an easy task for the Cowboys this year. Looking at receiver, you see some free agents there. I don't really see any use of bringing anyone back besides Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is a top-tier talent in my opinion, but what I don't like is kind of the nagging injuries kind of having to come off the field, a lot. That's the thing I don't like. So I don't want to overspend on Amari Cooper, but they need more receivers. They need more receivers. A lot of drops last year. Dak needs more help. McCarthy's offense, when successful, featured a lot of good receivers, and I mean a lot. So they definitely need more help here. And then offensive line, one of the best, if not the best in football. So I like what I see from the offensive line, obviously. Tight end needs an upgrade. It kind of goes in with the receivers, kind of goes in with the weapons. Obviously, priority, let's get Dak Prescott back. They're set at running back, like the duo. And then look at the defensive side. Really, tackling was the issue last year. They have some solid talent. They have solid talent that are free agents, had some injuries, but tackling was the main issue, so we'll see if we can fix that up. But it's an offensive league. I think the main focus could be on offense. The tough thing getting Amari Cooper, we'll talk about that in a little bit here. First, let's make some cuts. Tyrone Crawford, injured last year, thought to be not so serious, ended up being more serious, kind of aging, not really, not going to produce at that high of a level. Save the $8 million. You save the $8 million, you're going to need it. I mean, that's one player for $8 million per year right there, or two for $4 million, Randy Gregory, for obvious reasons, it's not a huge number in terms of saving cap, but obvious one, $73.9 million going up to $82.7 million. So pretty big number there. And then we re-signed some players. So I'm going for the big guys there. I'm going for the big guys. Dak Prescott, obviously, not a fan of the franchise tag. If you have to do it, you do it, but I'm paying him. I think people overreact when they're like, Dak's going to get this. He might be the highest paid quarterback per year. Maybe it ends up being a little much, but every single year, a quarterback, or even weeks, a week later, somebody might get paid higher. I've seen it in the past, So every single time a new quarterback steps in, they're getting paid higher. That's just how it works. It's crazy money, I know, but it's how it works. So I think people overreact from that a little bit. Dak Prescott, still young, still learning, still getting better. He's the guy. You pay the man. I get Amari Cooper back. You traded a first round pick for him. Like I said, he's talented. I mean, he's very talented. What I hate is, again, when he comes off the field and kind of just, he's sitting out here and there. But you get him back. And what's tough for the Cowboys and what's tough for free agent receivers in general is the greatest receiver class in NFL history, elite talent-wise at the top and depth-wise, it exists this year. It's coming right now in the 2020 draft, so that's kind of tough. It's hard to pay a receiver in free agency that much money when you can get some damn good ones, pretty much anywhere in this draft class. But a talent like Cooper and him being young still, you go get him. Byron Jones, I don't value the cornerback position as much as I used to. I think it's gone down. It feels like every corner can be beat at today's NFL. The corner's really not going to make anyone else better on the field besides maybe safety. The key is the pass rush, the D-line, even the linebackers today seem to be more important. So I don't want to draft a corner high, and I usually don't want to spend too much money on a corner. But I'm making the exception here for Byron Jones. I really like Byron Jones. You could argue he's a top 10 corner right now, still young, getting better, and not to mention he was a former safety not too long ago, switching to corner, and he's already adapted that fast. So this is a rare talent. I would like Byron Jones back. That secondary takes a huge huge hit without him. So that's why he's on here. And then Malik Collins, younger interior defensive lineman. You could get better in that position, but at the same time, he's young, getting better, and he will be cheap. Cheap, very dirt cheap compared to the rest of these guys, but he won't be super cheap, in terms of his contract. So these are the guys I'm getting back. You're still letting quite a few guys walk here. Guys like Sean Lee. I mean, a number of guys here, but these are the main guys I'm focusing on getting back. So you're spending a good amount, but you do have $82.7 million, and you can hit free agency and still get some big time guys here. Hopefully not a whole bunch of them, obviously, but I would really like Eric Ebron. There's a bunch of teams that need a tight end that I just don't like Eric Ebron for. I mean, there's only a couple teams that I would, because he hasn't had too much success. He's had his really good years, without Andrew Luck this past year, pretty rough. But I really would like him with Dak Prescott in this offense. So that's somebody that, I think upgrades the offense that much more there, is a guy like Eric Ebron. You bring back Amari Cooper as a weapon. You kind of, like I said, the receiver class is great. Kind of can fill the rest of that out in that draft class there. But you get that weapon at tight end here. Tony Jefferson was just recently cut by the Ravens, and not because he's not a good player. It's because they already have another safety kind of take his spot in Chuck Clark, and it's a lot cheaper. And Tony Jefferson did get hurt this past year. But Tony Jefferson can play. He can play. Really a do-it-all safety. Even seen him blitz a lot in the past. In 2018, he made my top 100 list, so I thought he was excellent in 2018. Unfortunately, hurt last year. They need a safety. Here's one that's not going to cost too much in free agency. Obviously, they would like to have a guy like Jimmy Ward, maybe a little too expensive after signing a guy like Eric Ebron and all those your own free agents. Jamie Collins, I would like as an outside linebacker, kind of getting that extra pressure for them as an off-the-ball linebacker, next to Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch. I would like that a lot. I don't know if he's not going to cost that much. He was only good on the Patriots. Patriots might not be able to afford him among others, but I would like him on this defense. You need some pressure from that linebacker, spot. You need more from really the end spot as well. But I think they could use some more. Whether it's blitzes or do you see Jamie Collins come off the edge as well. So I like the idea of that on the Dallas defense. So I think major upgrades already right there. And then we go into the draft, and A.J. Epinesa sitting there at 17. I take him. I add another edge rusher here because you lose Robert Quinn. You probably won't be able to pay him. Is it a guy you want to pay the big bucks to? So you kind of just retool with the younger A.J. Epinesa, who I think's an end no matter what. If a 3-4 team drafts him, I think he's an end. He's a strength, bull rusher type guy, very good with his hands. I would like him at pick 17, pair him with DeMarcus Lawrence, and that's a pretty good duo there. Like I said, receiver is going to be so important for this offense to have success. A lot of drops last year, and even without the drops, they still needed more receivers, in my opinion. Brandon Ayuk is that weapon. He is that weapon. Put him in there with Gallup and Cooper. Fantastic. You get him the ball, whether it's a screen pass, it's a go. The only negative maybe his ability to beat press, but what I did like is something you don't really see from college receivers a lot is the ability to read coverages in defenses. A lot of them are just, you're running this route no matter what, or this guy is going to run till he's open, go find the open seam in the zone. Just beat your guy one-on-one man. You've seen the guy read coverages mid-play, and I do like that on top of his athleticism. Beating press and going against physical corners might be the issue, but still for sure worthy of the 51 overall pick there in an upgrade and makes that offense that scarier. Amik Robertson, a corner that's really growing on me from Louisiana Tech there. Maybe a little undersized, but really doesn't play like it. The guy's an absolute stud, not afraid to come up and hit. Always real tight in coverage too. So add another corner. With Byron Jones, even though you get him back, you still need another one. Nick Coe from Auburn. Yeah, you see that edge next to his name, but I would actually, I'm drafting him here to slide him inside. Another guy on the inside can get you some quarterback pressure from the inside, which, the Dallas Cowboys need right now. They're definitely missing that. So, don't be fooled by that edge. He could play edge on a team, but I would like him inside on this defense. Possibly 3 technique. J.R. Reed, safety from Georgia. I thought he was a future, maybe even first rounder, maybe second rounder a couple years ago. Declined a little bit, but still has that upside. And then you're going to need another safety as well. Maybe not starting right away, but there's your depth there. And then Michael Walker from Fresno State, a guy that's going to fly out all over the field, get in the backfield. So linebacker depth at this point. You have your 3 starters in this scenario, but you really do not have depth. So that's what that is for too. And you could use Jamie Collins as an edge rusher at times too. So it's good to have the extra linebacker there. So love this plan for the Cowboys. It's a scary team if they kind of go that route. It's a good thing to have some of that cap space to get some of their guys back, and there's some teams out there that don't have the cap space to even get their own guys back, and what are they going to do in free agency on top of it? So that's the good thing. The downside is we could be through free agency and saying, well, the Cowboys pretty much have the same team. They spent all their money on the same players, and they're going to bring in some good prospects at least, but that's really not 100% ideal. So that's what I'm looking out for with the Cowboys. So I'm excited to see what they do. Excited to see what Dak gets. To me, he's the number 1 free agent because of his potential, his age, and the rare occasion that he's on the market here. So that's going to do it, though. Doing every single team going in draft order. Please like, comment. Any fans of the Cowboys, I would like to see your opinions on these things. But subscribe to both of our channels. Would really appreciate it. And follow our Twitter and Instagram. There's a link in the description and the comments to every video on all of that. So please check it out. And that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.